Hey guys, welcome to Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkovic. Today we're going to talk. I just made another one of my alignment belts, a new one. And the reason I made it is because my other one was getting to be about 8 years old, the rope. I still carried over the componentry, carabiners and my rope man, but and this is just a carabiner I put on there for a demonstration later. But this rope that I had on my old one was pushing 8 years old. Now this one is not, it's not bad. It's not like it's worn out or ruined, as you can see here. I mean, there's no fraying, there's no nothing. It's in great shape, but it's just getting old. It's, like I said, almost 8 years old, and I wanted to update some of the knots as I learned more and more about this stuff. You can see I just had an overhand stopper knot on there. When it, you know, with how stiff this rope is, it would have worked. And then I had an overhand knot here, and then I lashed it right there like that, and it worked good. But like I said, it's just you know, it's just like I said, you know, almost 8 years old, and it was time to upgrade. And also I find myself hunting these much bigger diameter trees, so I wanted something a little longer. So people are going to ask me how long these are. Well, if I put that right at the bottom there, so you're looking at about 5.5 feet, or you know, about 5.5 feet total length is what this last one was, 5.5 feet. I wanted a touch longer, so I made my new one. This one here, if I look at this one here, and we do it, this one is actually quite a bit. I'm going to say I made this one probably pushing, I'm going to say I probably made it 6.5 feet, about 6.5, or between 6.5 and 7 feet long, all tied and done. But I wanted some different knots in there as well too. Like here I have actually a fisherman's knot on this one. It's what I put on there. It's a climbing knot. It's good, but it also keeps that, it doesn't let that carabiner move around quite as much as it did on that open loop that I had on this one, where I had that wide open loop and that carabiner could just flop anywhere it wanted to. So I kind of like that stiffness setup, and this is an actual climb rated mountain climbing type knot, arborist knot, where this overhand is too, and it's good, it's not bad. But look at the size difference of that too. It's a much more compact knot. So I went with that, and then the stopper knot I put on the other end is just your standard stopper knot. That's what I got on there. So that's not coming off. That Rope Man 1 cannot slide off of there under any circumstances. When I roll that through there, there's no possible way for that to come out of there, because that's just going to stop right there. That's what it's intended for. This stopper knot is a mountain climbing stopper knot. I will show you how to tie both of these. Okay, I'll get a piece of rope and I'll show you how to tie those off. But the components, again, I'll have them listed down below for you, but this is a beautiful setup here. There's a lot. When I first started using this Rope Man one-handed adjuster that you see here, I found this and started making alignment belts out of this over 20 years ago. And I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on different belay devices and things trying to find this. There wasn't much on the market back then. Again, we're pushing almost 23, 24 years ago. Wasn't many options, and I found this. I didn't even find it in the US. I found this because it was coming out, I think it was in Italy or something, was where I originally saw it, 101 down. And the concept was fantastic, and it worked incredible. So it worked out really good, and I've been using it ever since. Now there are a lot of them out there. Okay, there are Kong ducks, there's Camover, Camit, there's a bunch of different kinds. Petzl even makes a couple that do these things. They're all good. What I love about the Rope Man is dead quiet. Hear that? Nothing. Okay, the carabiner, you're hearing a latch on the carabiner, see, but nothing. There's no noise to that because this carabiner is pressed against that rope. On a lot of them, that hole through here in the middle is loose, and the rope's there, so you get this rattle. Even if you tape it, you get rattle. Where a Rope Man 1 presses that against there and keeps that dead silent. It also keeps that position pretty well on there, so it's real easy to hook on. So I'm a big fan of the Rope Man 1. Made by Wild Country. I'll put links down below for this stuff in there for you. If you click right next to the title of the video, there's a little down arrow. Click on that. It'll show you the video description, and you will see the links to this stuff on there. But the Rope Man 1 has been my favorite. Like I said, I'm glad there's more and more out there. They're coming out. They're fantastic. Some of them, like the Kong duck and stuff like that, will let you use thinner diameter ropes. This is 11mm rope, static rope. I actually like this rope a lot. I'm not going to little 8mm ones and stuff. I use an 8.5mm one for my tether line right here that you see on here. That's 8.5 mil. But on a alignment belt, I like this rope. We'll talk about it why in a minute. But that's it. And then two carabiners. Key thing is on that rope man, you want an actual round shank carabiner. See how that shank is rounded down here at the bottom? That lets that hold that position well. If you were to put one that's more like this, where it's kind of flattened out, that carabiner will want to sit sideways like that on that flat side all the time, and you got to keep lifting it, and wants to fall flat because the rope is putting tension. So on your rope man side, you want a round shank carabiner. On your other one, you can use whatever you want to. I'm using a Mad Rock twist lock. Is what I got on there, but it works fantastic. Now, when it comes to the rope, any climbing rope will work that's between 10 and 13 millimeter on a Ropeman 1, okay? That's why some people went to like the Kong and stuff like that, because you could use like a 8 millimeter or a 9 millimeter rope. If you want to, that's fine. What I love about the 11 mil is it's just it's a little stiffer. Okay, I like that. As you can see, it still folds up very, very compact. This stuff, I mean, this is a brand new rope, but it's not like this stuff is hard to you know, to tuck in and roll up. It's not like it takes much room. It's a lineman, and that's a almost 7 foot long lineman belt. You know, it's not like it's bulky, but what it does have is I like the stiffness to it. So I'll give you an example. So if I were to set this on here, when I take this rope and I'm on here and I come up to that tree, I can see how that sticks out a little bit on its own, how it stands on its own. Where if I take this lineman belt, which has never been used, this is one that came with one of my stands, and if you grab this, if I had this out there, there's no stiffness to that at all. When you try flipping, there's nothing. I'll show you an example actually. So if I put this on a tree, and I throw this on here like this, and I come into here and I'm set, and I'm on there, when I want to go up, see how that lineman belt's there? Let's put it right here like this, but see how I can move this belt very easily by swinging it. See that? See how I can do that? I can snap it up like that real easy. Put it wherever I want to. So when I'm here and I go up and I step up a step, I can snap that right up and lean back and it catches. So I like that stiffness of that stiffer rope that I'm using. This is PMI Easy Bend rope. I've been using it ever since, I've been using it for 20 years. It's the first rope I found at REI. It's the only rope I've ever used, and its abrasion resistance is second to none. The abrasion capabilities, which we're going around trees all the time. Abrasion resistance is important. The PMI Easy Bend is a caver search and rescue rope that's designed for that. Now, any of the climbing ropes will work. 11 millimeter climbing ropes, they're going to work for you, but I like the stiffer ones. And there's other ones like Blue Water, stuff like that. There's a lot of them that are stiffer ropes. I do not like this. I do not like limp noodle ropes. Okay, so let's show that again. So here I am, I can snap this right up just like that. Okay, easy. Okay, it just whips right up wherever I want to put it, and it locks. Okay, simple, easy to whip it right up. Now if we take this one off and we set this one on, which has just got some carabiners I threw on there for demonstration purposes. Let's keep it on the same side with the Prusik. This is a Prusik system. So we put this one on, pull it around, you get this carabiner flipped around. All right, so with this one, if I go to flip that, see it, it'll flip. Hang on, let's bring this in closer. Oh, with a Prusik knot, I don't have one-handed adjustability like I do with that. I gotta use two hands to adjust. Okay, but notice how this one sticks up, and then when I want to flip it, see how it snags? See how it's snagging? I can't flip it. I'm cutting my hand up, that's what I'm doing. Just scraped against that bark on a tree. But so I can't really flip up very well because it's a loose rope. So it snags down there, it doesn't work very well. And a Prusik knot, with a Prusik knot, while we're on here, man, I scraped that up pretty good. But so if I want to adjust my way out of the tree, away from the tree, it's easy, because on a Prusik you can grab it and slide, okay? So I got that adjustability. If I want to come back into that tree, I can't one-handed. I have to let go of everything, pull myself in like this, grab the knot, and then slide the knot to get myself adjusted. Coming out, easier, okay? But going in, I can't come in. I have to actually grab and use two hands to come in. That sucks. Okay, that's dangerous, and it sucks because I'm losing points of contact on there. With my lineman belt, with that Ropeman, this one with that Ropeman on there, and see how much easier that is to swing that around a tree with that stiffer rope. It works so much better. But with the connection on here, I can hit that lever, slide out and give myself slack, grab the tail end of the rope, pull it in, and I'm in. So it's that easy. Out, in. And the key thing with a alignment belt is that you never have slack, okay? This position of alignment belt is very dangerous if it's down there, okay? I don't know if you can, I can't see with the sun hitting there. Oh, blood coming out of there. I can't tell if you can see it, but anyway, point being, this alignment belt being down low like this, like that, if I fall, I'm going to fall to that fulcrum point. So if I'm here and my rope is here, I'm going to fall a long way down. But if I'm here and my rope is here, I'm just going to fall to here. Okay, it's a big difference than this. So it's important to keep that rope up high. Well, in order to do that, you want adjustability, because when I'm working here and I'm hanging a stick, I want to be right here in tight. My stick's on there, I hang my stick. Now when I go to climb up to the next one, I can't climb this tight into the tree. I'm going to get all snagged up. So it's nice to be able to pull out a little slack like that, grab that stick, have room to get my knees in here, step up on that stick as I go, whip that, see how I can whip that right up with me, put that pressure on it. When I get up and I get to where I'm on the top of my stick now, and I'm set here, I can snug myself in like that, mount my stick, put it on. When I'm ready to climb up, give myself a little slack, grab the stick, got room for my knees in here, can climb up and flip as I go, just like that. It's a beautiful system. So that's the reason I like the Ropeman 1 system. And again, I don't care if you use a Kong Duck, I don't care if you're using Opalux, I don't care what you're using in your system, what rope, what sender, you know, what it is. They're all going to be very good for you, okay? These mechanical devices today are absolutely amazing. I am still a huge fan of this 11 mil static line. Static line is what you want because there's no stretch in that line, okay? Dynamic line gets a little squishy for alignment belt. You don't want that. You want zero stretch. You want a static, solid line. It's going to hold better as well, too, if you fall. So it's a good setup on there. The 11 mil, like I said, this PMI Easy Bend, the abrasion resistance of this stuff, when you read about it, it's for many, many years. It is the gold standard for tough use conditions on a rope. And there's not many out there that can hold up to it, can handle the abrasion and wear and tear that a PMI Easy Bend rope can. Now it's a little harder to get the knots to set. You got to fight with the knots a little more because it's a stiffer sheet on here, but it does work great. Also does hold up a little better if you were to cut it with a saw by some chance. Now you never want to do that because Silkies and ARS saws, I mean, you'll go right through it in one swipe. But if you're cutting a little branch, you happen to nick it, you got a better chance and better odds of not falling down when you're using this stuff compared to some of the other stuff that's out there. And the 11 mil, obviously physics being a bigger diameter is a little safer too. So I like the 11 millimeter PMI rope. I like the Ropeman 1. These carabiners, I run a twist lock on this side because this is the side that stays locked all the time. When I'm moving around branches, this is the side here that I'm releasing, and I take it, set it there, bring it around, throw it around the branch, flies in good, come in, relock, and I am set. Set it where I want it, lock in, I'm good. So that's the system that I like using. That's the reason I use these alignment belts. But it is that one-handed adjustability that is the key. If you're somebody who thinks that you can start down here and you can set a alignment belt, okay, about right there, and you can hang an entire stand and get all the way up there without making any adjustments to that alignment belt, or if because yours is a Prusik knot system, you're not making adjustments, you're going to have that belt down here, you're going to have these weird slack scenarios, and it's not going to be very safe for you. Alignment belt should never drop below that halfway point right here like that. So you set up, you come in nice and close to the tree, work your stick. When you have that stick set, now right here though, like I said, I can't climb. I'm too tight in, but this is where I want to be at to work. When I'm ready to take a couple steps up, I can let myself out, I can take my alignment belt, throw it up here, grab that stick, and now I can climb right up to it. As I get up there, and now I'm at that level, I can snug myself back in. So at every stick, every stand set, I am going in and out. I'm doing this every single time that I hang a stick or stand. So that that easy adjustment, that one-handed adjustment is a game changer. If you don't have that in alignment belt, you got nothing. You're dead in the water if you're still using. Now, even with a Prusik knot system, there are distal hitches and there are aiders and 3D printed knot tenders, and there's all kinds of things now that people are doing with a Prusik knot that will let you one-handed adjust it. Those are fine too. That's fantastic. Nothing wrong with that. Only recommendation I do or I make is understand that on a Prusik knot, the rope, the Prusik should be smaller diameter rope than the main line. Okay, you see these on here. Okay, see that this one has to be smaller diameter than this one for it to bite well. If you're already using an 8mm rope, there's no way I'm putting my life on a line of a 6mm rope or something like that, or 6.5 mil rope on a Prusik knot. So this becomes your weakest link, is that Prusik knot. So just keep that in mind. And I know there's people out there that make them, and I know that they're probably fine and they're probably safe, but I am not putting my life on a Prusik knot setup that's going to be that small a diameter. I used to make some out of 7 mil, and it even that, it scared me with a 7 mil on an 8mm rope with a 7mm Prusik. It bothered me. I stopped using them. That was quite a few years ago, probably 8 years ago, and I was using them for tether systems, and I just did not feel safe with that thin a rope. So use what you want, but remember, this is getting abrasion. You're wearing it against the tree. So if you're using a Prusik knot, get one of those plastic tenders where you can hit that tab and they'll let you loosen that knot. Okay, it's an adjustment tab that goes on there, and it'll make that almost a one-handed setup if you want to. But that's the only way to be, is have one-handed adjustability. For me, that means this setup that I've been using, like I said, without fail for over 20 years. It's the best system out there in my opinion. Ropeman 1. A rope that is a stiffer rope. Again, mine is PMI Easy Bend. I'll put links below for this stuff. It used to be where you could only buy the PMI Easy Bend in 150 foot, 150 foot or bigger increments of rope. So you had to pay, $180 or whatever to get this rope. So it was expensive. That's how I bought it. I bought it in 300 feet of this years ago, and I keep it stored in a cool, dry place in a sealed bag. I bought mine as white. I dye this with a RIT dye that's designed for synthetic. I know some of you guys, oh my God, never dye a rope. Oh my God, you dyed it. It's going to be horrible. Oh my God, you're going to fall and die. You know what? I've been dyeing these for the last 20 years. Every one I had has been dyed for 20 years. I've been dyeing this rope with the same exact RIT dye. And you know what? I don't show anywhere any problems, any issues. There's no nothing. Yes, I have had these things save me a couple of times, slip step many times with them. I got no worries. To dye it, I put the RIT dye in warm water in a bowl. I take this rope, I bunch it up like this so it's all bundled up like that, and I stick the rope and I take it and I go plunk in the bucket and I hold it down with a fork for about a minute and a half and I pull it out. That white rope comes out this way. Oh my gosh. So it's amazing. So you do what you want. If you're not comfortable dyeing the rope, or all of a sudden it's going to make it where you're going to die immediately if you hang on it and it's just going to disintegrate in your backpack, then don't dye it. Me personally, I dye mine so it comes as a white. You can get it in every color now. When I was using it, when I first bought it, it only came in white with red stripes, red and black stripes. That's what I bought. I dye it with RIT dye. I like it, again, for that stiffness, for that whip line capability. I can do that with that, coming up and down a tree. It's a beautiful thing. Other great options out there for you too, but this is that lineman belt I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and take them in. I'm going to go get a piece of rope so I can show you how to make these couple knots, that stopper knot and that fisherman's knot, and we'll be right back for you. Okay, I got a piece of rope here we'll use to show you those knots, but also with these knots, notice that I did lash those, okay? I used serving material that I use for bowstrings. You can use whatever you want to, but you want to at least make sure you're leaving a hand width of tail on there, 3 inches or so of tail on there on your ends. This end's a little shorter than that, but on that one, on your knots and stuff, they say recommend 3 inches of tail on there. But then what I did is I lashed them. You can shrink tube them if you want to. You can lash them with rope. I used a serving tool, my Arrow serving tool, but if you don't have one, anything will work. Some thin string, even dental floss is pretty tough for inside a paracord. Lay it on there for a couple wraps and then tie that stuff on a stick so you can be tight, and then just wrap it around a few times to lash that, but that will lock that tail in so it's not snagging on anything and so it cannot come undone. So that's why I did that lashing on there. I did it on my last one too with the with bowstring serving, and it held up very well for all these years. So that's what I did again. Just real simple and easy, not complicated to do, but just lash it and tie it if you want to serve those on that end. Now, as far as how I do this knot right here, okay, this is that fisherman's knot that I have on here. I'll show you. I'm not untying it because it's lashed, so I got a different rope to show you on here. So we'll show you how this works. But with that fisherman's knot, what you want to do here, you want to take that rope. Let me see here on this little one. So if we're going to take that, we want to go, let's see here, let's get a little more slack to it. So you're going to go over like this. See how I laid that rope over? And there's good tutorials on these online too, probably better than what I'm doing. But so I'm laying that rope over like this, trying to do it the right way here. Then I'm going to go around once. Then I'm going to go under. See, I went under, so I got that X formed right there. Okay, try and keep it in frame here so you can see it. But see, I'll do that again. So you got your loop. So I went over like this, so it's over one time. The next time I go over, I'm going down lower. So I create that crossover right there. Then I come around again. When I get to this back side, I can feed that right up. See, I got one more loop going all the way around, and when I'm on the back side, I'm going to feed this right up through this, right through this knot, through this X. So you get that cross like this on one side, parallel lines on the other, and I'm going to pull that tight. Now you want this to have a long enough lead on there so that it's at least 3 inches, but when you cinch that down, you can see I have that cross on that side, parallel lines on that side. It's almost like a stopper knot on there, but this is a cinchable knot. So I tighten this up by pulling on on each of these, make sure it's good. See how I ended up with that tail on there long enough that I'm acceptable. And now this is a cinchable knot. Here's what it looks like. Okay, crossed over, dressed up nice, and then this will cinch. Okay, so when I pull on this, see how it's tightening up. So I can take and put a carabiner, right here's a carabiner. So I can put that carabiner in here like this and then cinch that right up to it. And there's what you end up with, is that knot right there, which is a fisherman's knot. So it's going to keep it nice and stiff and straight right there too. And then I lash this. That's how I do that knot on there. So it's a very simple, easy knot to do. Let's just stick that there right now. And then the other end is just a standard overhand or double overhand stopper knot. It works good. It's going to be functional. Hang on, let me get this loose here. Open that one, and then that should pull right through. You're not going to be undoing this knot anyway, so it's okay that it's a stiffer knot. But anyway, so for the double overhand, so what you're going to do is basically, again, make a loop. I'll stick this here. So you make a loop around like this, so you have that loop right there. Then I want to go through once, through twice, and then I'm going to pull. See how it's going to X over itself like this? You get that X'd form right there like that. That's what you want. And then just keep tightening that knot up. Dress it, squish it together, pull both sides, tighten it, and that is your stopper knot. Very simple. Hang on, where you at? Right there. Very simple to do. X on one side, parallel lines on the other side. Very similar to that fisherman's knot, but that knot will not move or come down now. So that's how you make those. Very simple in design. And what you end up with here, let me move that off there, is a stopper knot on this end, which again, you can see mine has got kind of that loose shape. That's because of this PMI easy bend, the stiffness of that rope. That's still solid. That's not going anywhere. Not going to move off there. But that is that double overhand stopper knot. And on this end is that fisherman's knot right there. But again, you can see how stiff this rope is, this PMI easy bend. I mean, I love that factor of it because it gives me that whip line capability on this stuff, and it really lets me move up that tree fast without snagging. This rope does not. Let me get that carabiner out of the way here too, so that one's over there. But when you compare these ropes, this one, again, like I said, you throw it on there, you got a lot of snagging with this rope. See, I can't whip that up. I can't flip that. No flipping, no capable, so I have to actually fight my way around there, and it snags, and I have to fight with this, and I don't want that. So I'm not a fan of these. Yeah, they pack up smaller. Okay, that gets, oh, look at how little that is. I can fit that in my front pocket. That's a fantastic thing, and maybe it is, but realistically, it's not much smaller as you saw between that and this one, which when you pack this one here up, is also very compact, and this one is much longer. This is about 2 feet longer than that one. But you know, I mean, it's not much difference in them. But what I get is I get that snap effect on here, which in my opinion is worth its weight in gold, to be able to take that and flip line that like that and get that right up wherever I want it on that tree. That's the beautiful part of this, that PMI rope. So, all right, there you go. That basically wraps it up. That is my lineman belt, how I build it, where to find it, where to get the components to. No, I do not sell these. People ask that all the time. Can I make them one? I cannot. And the reason for it is liability insurance, all right? You got companies out there that are building some that are similar to this, like Kongs. I think Tethered sells one with a Kong setup on there you can buy. These are not expensive to build. You're looking at about, I think I paid $10 for this twin lock, or this twist lock carabiner, maybe $10. There'll be a link below to it, but it's about 10 or 11 bucks. This one's about 12 or 13, so you got, figure 25 bucks in 25 or 26 bucks in carabiners, 40 bucks for the rope man, and you can get this stuff. I'll put a link again. You can get this for less than $1 a foot, about $1 a foot for this stuff. So if you say you buy it in 10 feet section of rope, you're 10 bucks, 40 bucks. That's $50. You're 75 bucks to build this, exactly like I have it right here. Which, in my opinion, not knocking some of the amazing lineman belts that are out there, the best lineman belt ever made, right here. If there was a better one, I would be using it. No offense to these other ones that are out there. Everybody's style and climbing method is different. For me, in the way I do it, if there was a better one, I'd have it. This is the best one in my opinion. So there you go. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.